What a wonderful sight. The army band is marching to the tune of the commanding tune. May I have the army band perform, and all the cars are lined up.
দারুণ দারুণ এই গাড়ি।
Showroom Nandi. Jai Kishan Saraf used to own this car once. A 1963 Triumph Spitfire 4 owned by Agnesha Dotto and is being driven by Shoipat Dotto. A 1955 Sporting MG Magnet owned by Darshan Mukesh Sanghvi and is being self-driven. We have a 1964 Ford Anglia owned by Amritendu Roy of Kolkata and is being self-driven. Closely chasing it is a Datsun, or in other words, colloquially called the Datsun, owned by Rishi Kumar. 1954 Morris Minor owned by Mrs. Usha Verma, owned and driven by Agnesh Kumar Verma. 51 Willies owned by Annesha Chand Dash and is being driven by Vivekananda. Mercedes-Benz, a war trophy once used by Lieutenant General A.A.K. Niazi. It's still in its pristine condition and probably owned by a 1949 Rover owned by Arnab Basu, being self-driven. We now have closely followed by 1972 Morris Marina, owned by Dr. Shutonu Kumar Patro, owned by Saib Talat Zareen, owned and driven by Saib Fakhrud. This wonderful piece of machinery, which is an 1942 Excelsior, owned by Gurmukh Singh Khokhar. These types of vehicles were actually used and para-dropped. Minor, owned by Nilina Ghosh. May I request Mr. Shukhendu Hira, IPS DIG, West Bengal, to kindly do the honors, sir. 67 Morris, owned by Shaulja Pratim Metro and is being driven by Shaulja Shop. Closely followed by 1967 Mercedes-Benz, owned by Pallav Roy and is being driven by Rohit Sen. And being used a similar machine owned by Sharmishka Hazra and is being driven by
এগুলো শৌখিন কার ছিল, বিশেষ করে মেয়েরা চালায়।
chased by another very sporting 1957 Wolseley owned by Indrajit Sparky Sarkar and is being self-driven. 6 follows 1952 Willys, owned by Nandini Chakraborty. Surendra Kumar Dugar of and being driven by Arun Roy. What a fine piece, an elegant piece. The 1948 MGTC, beautifully done, owned by Himanshu Ajmera, and is being self-driven. Congratulations, Mr. Ajmera. We have memories of a dear friend. Only a Fiat,
এই যে ফিয়াট অনেকক্ষণ পরে শুনি ফিয়াট
a 1954 Fiat owned by Mr. Dev Kumar Paul and is being driven by Surajit Paul. And chasing this car is another piece of elegant. We have a 1956 Dodge Kingsway owned by the Commissioner of Police, Kolkata. What a grand piece of machinery in its pristine condition. And may I inform you that the wireless set is still
কমিশনার অফ পুলিশ নিজে
in
চালায়
operation. It's not owned by Mrs. Rita Dey and is being driven by Godai Chand Dey in period costume. He is probably coming out
অনেক পুরনো মানে
of the
সিস্টেম
car to greet
হ্যাঁ এই সানরুফ কনসেপ্ট
the
অনেক
audience
পুরনো
and
কনসেপ্ট
the
এরকম
esteemed
কাটা থাকতো
guests.
সবাই এখন ওটা খোলা না
1951 Morris Minor, owned by Subrata Sarkar of Howrah. What a fine piece of art, I would say. The credit goes to the present owners to keep this machine in this pristine condition. 50 Sunbeam Talbot, owned by Mr.
এইটা আমি
Anil
একটা
Kumar
ইয়ে বানাবো
Verma, and is being
যে 100
self-driven.
এত ভিনটেজ কার ফাঁসিনি
না পরপর ইয়েতে দিয়ে একটা ভালো করে একটা
Closely self-driven, closely chased up by another 1950 Morris Minor,
ওর বাহ
owned by Saurabhi Boni. What a beautiful piece of machinery. We have a 1949 Morris Minor, owned by Amritendra Roy, closely followed by another similar, rather a nice piece of beauty of yesteryears, car number 1948 MG, owned by Dr. Saurabh Seth and is being self-driven. And whenever you see the blue beauty coming, car number 72 is a 1948 Plymouth, owned by one time our great Hemanta Mukherjee. এই পথ যদি না শেষ হয় তবে কেমন হতো তুমি বলো তো না তুমি হমে জানো না হম তুমে জানে Whenever I see this car, I remember owned by Devoprem Chatterjee and is being self-driven. Super 8, owned by Miss Shoma Bhattacharya and is being driven by Jyotirmoy Bhattacharya. Closely followed by another. Passing by is a 1948 Morris 8, owned by Sachin Sehgal. A very elegant 1948 Morris, owned by Mr. Ravi Kumar Dugar and is being self-driven. Owned by late Sanjay Ghosh. We have many phone, Mr. Vikram Swaroop, and is being driven by Siddharth Swaroop. Closely followed 1943 Willies, owned by Nilanjana Chatterjee and is being driven by Saurabh Bose. Closely followed by a 1967 owned by Naresh Ojha of Kolkata and being self-driven. Followed closely by a 1937 Morris owned by Gargi. A 1923 Panther Sloper, probably one of the oldest two-wheeler machines on the roads of Kolkata, followed by a 1938 James Villiers, followed by a 1937 Ariel owned by Lieutenant Colonel Nitin Shrestha, being self-driven. We have a 1939 Villiers owned by late Dr. Abdul Karim and is being driven by one of his family members and heirs.
Thank you.
We have again soothing to the eyes, the stately and the grand Rolls Royce. The GOCNC greets the owner and congratulates him for maintaining such a marvelous and a grand. Here comes car number 38, which is a 1937 Opel, driven by Onindo Sarkar.
বাবু সেজে
Pradeep Kumar Chopra. Please put your hands together for this Adler, a 1938 Adler, owned by late Srimati Bhavasundari De, and now being. So we have the Adler sprinting away to glory.
কত মেয়েরা গাড়ি চালাচ্ছে
And was being used by none other than another Austin,
এই যে অস্টিন
owned by Mr. Anirudh Ghosh and being driven by Mrs. Maurice. We have car number 29, a 1930.
আগে অলরেডি টেস্ট হয়ে গেছে বুঝেছো
হ্যাঁ
Gori Mohan De,
এটা গাই দিয়েছে
full sleeve.
বাংলো কাছে এটা গাই দিয়ে দেনি বাবা সামনে কনসেপ্টটা কত আগে করে কনভার্টেবল ছিল তো ওই আগের যেটা গেল পুরো হ্যাঁ
We have a 1933 Austin, a 4-cylinder 10 horsepower owned by Chandra Prakash Bhatt. We have the evidence as they've produced that they have been participating in the Statesman rally for n number of years. As you say, the millions and millions of Kokar family members. Good luck to you, son Richard Day.
এটা সানরূপ আছে
Seen in plenty, but now these are very few in number,
খুব ভদ্র গাড়ি
very rare.
খুব ইনোসেন্ট কার ছিল।
And as we were saying, it was Emil Jelinek. Ladies and gentlemen, please be informed. Thank you, sir. We have a car 19, which is a 1932 baby Austin, owned by Ashok Kumar Dey, self-driven.
Maybe Austin.
At one time, these cars used to throng the lanes and byword, owned by Mayan Kajaria and being self-driven. Which is a 1928 Studebaker, owned by Supriya Roy and being driven by Paulo Roy. Please be informed that this car is with this Roy family since it came out new from the stables. What a nice piece. Which is a 1927 Dodge owned by Gaurav Dugar, being driven by Surendra Dugar. What a nice piece of engineering along with the beauty. As if they are saying, men may come and men may go, but we go on forever. The marshals are requested to medal, Vishish Seva medal.
এইটা হচ্ছে ইয়ে
Car number 11 which just passed is Austin, owned by late Syed Sirajuddin Hussain and being driven by Syed Aftabuddin Hussain. A 1926 Austin, a 4-cylinder, driven by Nandini Chakraborty. 26 Studebaker Erskine, belonging to Kunal Banerjee, being driven by Bapi Chaudhary. A 1925 Rolls Royce Tour 1913. This car every year comes from far off Midnapur, where they are actually a resident.
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ এটা পড়েছি এই গাড়িটা।
Ladies and gentlemen, it has successfully passed the wiggle wobble test. Round of applause for this beautiful machines of the yesteryears, a French machine.
Friends, Renault.
Closely followed by the second oldest car, a Gebruder Stoer, a fine piece of German engineering